everybody and welcome to Amphlett Reviews, back another Hong Kong content review, diving into 88 films brand new lineup for Twin Dragons. Oh yes, finally. It's had a few delays. I'm very happy to finally own this edition and be officially released. This is one of the very rare Jackie Chan films I've yet to watch, part of the kind of Miramax kind of locked library of those terrible cuts. You know, I refused to watch the super cut Miramax version. I tried, did not work out. I'm very happy to have the Hong Kong version of that. And this is one I've heard about for such a long time, but just terrible quality DVD. I don't think there was a Blu-ray prior to this, and if it was the Miramax cut version. So what was the point? And it wasn't even in the original, you know, Cantonese kind of audio, which is just a no-no for me completely. And I'm very happy that 88, as the magics they have done, I've managed to work out a deal and get the original version, the original Hong Kong 104-minute version featuring Cantonese modern audio, alternative Cantonese mix, and the Cantonese home video mix with English subtitles. And you also have the Dimension Films version as well included in the bonus features, which is always nice to have to compare and contrast, but I don't think it's a full HD version from what I briefly looked into. This is a great edition. Let's have a look here for you. So we got brand new artwork, which is double Jackie, double the fun. Fuck yeah, a nice kind of hard box there, which is great. A lot of the kind of 88 film editions from Jackie has been a lot of the hard rigid box editions, which is great. We get the poster there, which, well, I'm not going to open that up, but you get the idea. And we have big ass booklet, which really goes in behind the scenes of this. Incredible. And we have the alternative artwork, which I flipped over. There we go. We got some lobby cards there, and on the disc. Jam-packed edition, guys. This is incredible. And when I get a new Jackie Chan film, I'm a little bit worried. Am I going to like this one? Is this one going to deliver on this glorious edition that we've got? Well, let's find out. Let's talk about Twin Dragons. Twin Dragons released in 1992, directed by two legendary directors. We have Ringo Lam, the incredible Ringo Lam, which I've talked about quite extensively on the channel. I think I reviewed quite a few of his movies, at least by, I'll say 10 of his movies now I've actually reviewed on the channel. The most recent ones being Pearl in Paradise, Full Alert and Full Contact. Really brilliant films. Ringo Lam, I've kind of seen different sides of him with his Van Damme work, with his early kind of, you know, Hong Kong movies, hard gritting kind of movies, and then his late 90s movies. So I'm getting definitely a big range of that kind of director, and really a definite appreciation of what he has to offer in terms of the kind of Hong Kong kind of industry and that kind of, you know, filmography. And second director, we have Tsui Hark, the Once Upon a Time director, kind of extraordinaire. Very interesting director. I think he's done some really great films, but he's also done some very kind of like okay-ish kind of movies. Very mixed bag for me personally. Like, I love his Once Upon a Time in China movies. I love The Master, Jet Li. One of my favourites of his film is probably Knockoff, you know, with Van Damme. I think that was a very big highlight for me, and I absolutely love that film. I thought it was great. But some of his other movies, his Hong Kong movies, are very hit and miss. He definitely has done a lot of kind of cameos and a lot of different kind of, you know, popping into a few different movies. Recently, obviously with the Yes Madam in the In Line of Duty, and he also does a cameo alongside Ringo Lam in this movie as well, which is absolutely great. A little quick cameo. This film is very interesting, diving into the kind of the booklet, behind the scenes, a lot of brand new extras, you know, with some of the stunt man kind of thing, and people behind the, you know, how this film was put together. This is a basically a directors kind of guild kind of, you know, crowded funded movie. Very interesting kind of background. This was purely done to kind of highlight the kind of actors and directors kind of guild in a sense. This was a very kind of pristine kind of project, and which is why you have a lot of cameos from actors and directors all turning up practically free, just to support this film and to kind of highlight, you know, good filmmaking within Hong Kong cinema, which is absolutely brilliant, which is why you have, you know, John Woo at the end. You got some of the actors from the Police Story movies. I think you've got the director of Boat People's on as well. So loads and loads of actors and directors that just pop up throughout the whole thing. If you recognise their face, you're going to see them. You're going to go, oh, I know that person. There's quite a few that I missed, but luckily the brilliant audio commentary on the edition and the booklet just point out a lot of the actors and directors that were involved in this, which is absolutely fantastic. And this is a quite an excitable project. This is very much not a cheap film by the nature of it. You've got two Jackie Chans playing two very different characters. You've got brand new special effects kind of thing, and being the fact that kind of the 90s were the time frame of this kind of like body double type of thing, where you have, you know, Van Damme doing his thing with double impact, I believe, or double trouble, one or the other, and Jackie Chan's doing his spin-off on it as well. And a lot of actors have done very similar things as well for their career. I think Van Damme did it twice in his. I think Jackie Chan's only done it once, I believe, in his. So I was very, very skeptical, very, very worried that this film would not deliver, because you've got great directors. You've got Jackie Chan, you know, one of my all-time favorite actors and directors. You know, I've got a whole shelf of his movies, and good portion or not, I like pretty much all of his films. Even the ones that I kind of don't like, I still got some appreciation of them. And I was very worried that this would be kind of a misfire film, and luckily it was not. This film was fucking awesome, and it was really, really well done. It's a bit of a it kind of throws you off a little bit towards the start. You're not too sure like where exactly the film's going, where they're going to meet, because obviously you know the scenarios, you know the kind of gimmicks of kind of having two actors playing the same character, especially being brothers. Where's this film going to go? Well, what's the gimmick of it? And surprisingly, they found some really fun gimmicks, and they really elevated the idea of being like, you know, twins to a different level, which I wasn't really expecting. This film has a lot more heart than I expected as well. This is very much a heart-filled film. It's about family. It's about longing for something more. There's fighting for your pride and honor, and there's a lot of really good themes in the film. There's a lot of flashed out with the kind of romantic kind of lead characters. You've got Maggie Chung in the film, which is great. Jackie Chan, Maggie Chung reunion, brilliant. I love it. That's really explored really well in the film. You've got very close friendship groups. You've got great villains as well in the film. There's a lot going on ultimately, and you know, being the fact this film could have been very much a B movie gimmick film from through. It is to a certain extent. It is very silly. It is definitely a comedy. I would say the film is a comedy first and a thriller kind of maybe second or third. You know, it's definitely much a Jackie Chan just having a fun, being double the lead in his own movie, which they pulled it off really goddamn well, and having two directors makes a lot of sense. And according to the audio commentary on the edition, they basically, Ringo Lam managed to do most of the action stuff, while Tsui Hark, I think, did most of the kind of the acting and more side of Jackie Chan, if I remember correctly. I think there was some confusion with the visual effects, and Tsui Hark wasn't particularly very good at it, so I think they had to kind of share the duties. Apparently other directors did actually film different scenes throughout the film, which is very curious to see which one did who, and you know, very curious if John Woo did a scene here and there. It feels very much a collaborative kind of movie, and this film, as mentioned, is very, very funny. The gimmick is, you know, you got two brothers separated at birth. One stayed in Hong Kong, you know, became a character called Die Hard, which I kid you not, he has a best friend called Tarzan. I also kid you not, which also is the writer of the film. That's also quite funny. And they get into kind of some scrapes. He's a bit more of a fighter, he's a mechanic, and he's very much kind of like, you know, he's not had much of a family. He's kind of fight for his kind of friendship, his honor, and that kind of stuff, which is a completely different demeanor compared to the other twin, who is basically a kind of famous kind of musician who kind of operates this kind of, you know, orchestra kind of thing, and he's got this grand kind of, you know, tour that's going on, kind of international, and he goes to Hong Kong very first time visiting stuff. But also there's a weird kind of thing with this kind of twin power, psychic power, where like, you know, the one plays, you know, hand music, you know, playing the piano, and he doesn't know why he's doing it. The other one's on a boat and he's rolling around. So it's very silly, it's very gimmicky. Even some of the villains and how some of the act and some they do in the film is very kind of funny and stupid, but it's really fun at the same time. The best scene in the entire film was the switcheroo when they both, I won't say too much, but it basically gets really, really funny in terms of how they use the psychic powers in the different scenarios both these characters are in. Really, really fun, really funny. The third act is brilliant as well, all action packed, just lots of great fight sequences. They really use these two characters to their own strengths in terms of how they're played, and they feel like two different characters, and it's just Jackie Chan's personality on screen, having a blast, having fun, brilliant supporting cast. Maggie Chung, as always, just really delivering out of the park. You've got brilliant kind of supporting characters as well in terms of the best friends, the other love of interest. All well done. There's so many cameos in the film, it's unbelievable. There's a cameo which I really appreciated, which talks about Category 3, which I thought was really, really funny as well. The film's an absolute blast. This is a 12A, so this is definitely much more of a kind of light-hearted, a bit more of a fun. Still has a bit of an edge to it. There's still some violence in places, of course, but it's a lot of fun from start to finish. Bad guys are great as well. Great supporting cameos. Really, really happy to have this film on the full Hong Kong uncut version on my collection, on the shelf, with the other Jackie Chan films, one of the rare ones that I didn't get to see when I was younger, and it's nice to finally have the original version intact. Really creative in terms of how the film's put together. Love the kind of the cinemascope aspect ratio. The black and white scenes at the start was very fun and very creative. As you can tell, I absolutely love this film. What are your thoughts and opinions on Twin Dragons, guys? Please comment down below. What is your favourite Jackie Chan film, underrated one that not many people talk about? Mine is Shaolin Wonderman. I think that film deserves way more attention and way more praise than compared to some other films I've seen in this collection. But that's mine. What is your thoughts and opinions, guys? Please comment down below. Have you picking up the new 80th film edition? So in the meantime, guys, Amphlett Reviews, signing out.